Sean, this car, talk about a classic.
Well, just like the house, so I wanted to show up like that, and I have way more to show you inside. You're going to be so surprised.
With an entry like that, I can't wait to see what's inside. Sean, this is like a sanctuary.
Well, it truly is. It's so great. The architecture fits into the topography and the landscape. So when the owners decided what kind of home they wanted, they specifically looked for a lot just like this, because it really is integrated into the lot. It's super private on 3 of the sides, which is great because there's the bluff on that side, but then straight down, that's to the ocean. That was one of their goals for the whole city of Del Mar. They really wanted a natural community that blended with the way the community should look. So they wanted to make a glass contemporary house that fit in with all that you see. And I think they were super successful.
Oh my gosh, unbelievably successful. That's the first thing I noticed, is that you really do feel like you're in nature.
Well, and know what's so interesting is all along the coastline, there's houses that get built and tore down, built and tore down, especially in the 40s, 50s, and 60s. Homes weren't built like this. And this one truly is like an architectural masterpiece, almost like a collectible type house, because there's such a following for mid-century modern architecture now. And at the time, this was considered contemporary. And then it got the name mid-century modern many, many years later, because that was a specific period in time, a specific style like this.
And I can't believe this was built in the 60s, because it looks like it was built a month ago.
It looks like what everybody wants right now, right?
Yes, just the lines so crisp and clean. It's stunning.
So fresh.
Absolutely.
Yep. So there's somebody that I want to introduce you to inside. Christopher and I are co-listing the house, and we decided to collaborate on this because we both have such a passion for design and architecture, and he specifically even had more knowledge about mid-century modern. We were so excited when we got called to do this house and to list this house, and we get to share it with everybody, because truly it's a piece of art as well as a home.
Like you said, a true masterpiece.
Yep. Hi, Christopher. This is Tawny.
Hi.
Hey, Tawny. It's
Nice to meet you. This house is beautiful.
Right? Sean, I'm so excited to be partnering up with you on this listing and co-listing it, because I think between the two of us, what we know about Del Mar and what we know about the history of homes in Del Mar is something great.
And it's so interesting because there's not that many mid-century modern homes that are left in San Diego County. Like a lot, like over the period of time, like they were kind of altered too much, and this one was really preserved 100%. And it's interesting because this house has never been on the market before.
Really?
So that's what we're so excited about, and I think the community is excited to see it.
Talking about the architect, I thought it was really cool that they went to school together at USC. So there was a friendship in place before the design of the house was even thought of. So when they originally met, Bob Jones had a good understanding of Mr. and Mrs. Johnson and how they like to live. So I thought that was a huge asset when it came to him designing the house and creating it particularly for them and for the lot that they own.
That's probably why they stayed this long, right?
Yeah, and it was such an interesting collaboration because with the owners, along with the architect, and then the architect, his relationship with the builder, because they ended up going on to do many, many collaborations together, the architect and the builder, throughout like the San Diego coastline. Whenever you see kind of the mid-century cantilevered homes, I think they almost always did those ones together.
And especially throughout San Diego, to have a piece of architecture somewhat preserved like this one is really rare the more north you get. A lot of the homes that were built by these architects started down in Point Loma, Mission Hills, even going into La Jolla. So the further you get up here, the less you see of these. So to have a post and beam modern home in Old Del Mar is a really kind of rare thing to see.
And this is unbelievably pristine. Like I can't even the plants are just perfect. It's picture perfect, like you said, just like the magazine.
And you can tell the love of the house just because of the way it's preserved, what went into it. And the fact that it looks so similar to what it looked like when it was built kind of showed the true love the owner had.
And a true vision for that time.
And a vision for the time.
I mean, you know how people collect cars and art? Like I feel like someone's gonna wanna, if they love this architecture, they're gonna wanna collect this
It
house.
is, and that's my vision for the house, is to see somebody come in that collects architecture and that wants to keep the home, preserve it the way it is, just for future to see.
They want somebody like that Christopher is talking about, because it means so much to them to have the house preserved. They're like, please don't let a builder come and put something else, but it's truly meant to be here forever. Actually, there are houses very similar to this in Los Angeles, the case study houses that are like museums.
I'm
And I
glad you
think that's-
brought that up too, because the case study houses were a big influence on Bob Jones when
Yeah.
he started designing houses in the 1960s. He was really taking a good look at the case study houses and trying to find a more efficient way to build them and make them more attainable for everybody.
And he really did. They were able to do things in a very efficient, kind of modular way, like almost like cubes. And it became a really interesting form of architecture.
It did, and just talking about it now, I still get goosebumps, just like we did on the initial listing presentation, because it's so cool. And to be in something like this truly gives you a feeling of what it was like to live in the home back when it was built. And to have that feeling of kind of an old vintage vibe in Del Mar is just, it gives me goosebumps. And
It's
I
a
love it.
statement house. And like you said, it was photographed in magazines. It was photographed in
Several times, like local and national. Like when it was in American Home, that was the like magazine or journal for the young kind of hip families that were not like hippie-ish, but they were kind of like swank and really like sophisticated. Like I see like the Mad Men theme, Martini Party.
Yeah, it was like the Elle Decor magazine of
Yeah.
its time.
So we've seen the stunning front and this beautiful living room, but I see a little snippet of a pool as well.
And that was something that was updated kind of after the kids were gone, which they were like, God, we wish we had this pool when we were young. So that's the part that's like completely kind of new and updated, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's go check it out.
Yes. Even the pool is stunning. I can't believe that this was an upgrade and not even built with the original.
And I love how they kind of stuck along with the original vision of Bob Jones, the architect, and really kept it going throughout the house, throughout the updates. And speaking of the house being updated, that's not the only thing. The city of Del Mar is going through a few updates as well.
And it's pretty amazing. So the city of Del Mar is going through a renaissance right now. And so it's kind of like returning to it being an urban beach community where the shops and the restaurants are coming back to Del Mar. They've just redone all the cityscapes. There's some new restaurants and pubs coming in where the Del Mar Plaza was. So it's really like changing and becoming a really hip city again. And that fits really exactly into that, this house does.
Well, thank you for showing me this gorgeous masterpiece of a house.
Yeah, we're obsessed with it. So as many people as we can get out here.
That makes 3 of us.
I can't wait.